Добрий день.
Good afternoon. We start the work in Ukrainian crisis media center, and now we'll discuss results of the three-day practical festival Connect Ukraine. And we have Mr. Jorgen Bo, coordinator of the festival, Sofia Yushchenko, co-organizer of the festival, Ruslan Spivak, co-organizer and coordinator of the digital and business panels of the festival, director of corporate affairs of Raiffeisen Bank Aval, Yurii Mylyutin, Blockham, Hackathon coordinator, Mr. David Pasiak, author of the books Disruption, Revolution, Empower, and Red Bull to Buddha. And you're welcome.
I want to thank everyone for coming. This Connect Ukraine Fest has been something very special, I think. It was from the start a project that a lot of people said wasn't possible, and especially on the scale that we wanted to do it on. But I'm happy to report that we were able to gather over 2,000 young Ukrainians who came to Connect Ukraine Fest and had the opportunity to listen to 60 top speakers, creators, visionaries, and innovators from both the US, Europe, and Ukraine, talking about topics like the blockchain, the technological revolution, future business trends, agriculture, restaurant business, reforming education, and a lot of social impact business as well. The festival included everything from workshops, a hackathon that we will hear more about on the blockchain, a 5-hour co-creation, which David will speak more about, and the results that were truly amazing. We are also very grateful to all of our sponsors and very happy that they wanted to join us here. That is Raiffeisen Bank and Artsavod Platforma. And also we want to especially thank David Pasiak, who's the co-creation expert and who's also been an instrumental part in making this happen. For an event that was made in less than 2 months, we are in awe, and we're also very proud of what the team has achieved. We inspired hundreds of young people to think creatively and work to realize their dreams in Ukraine, as well as to learn about world trends that will greatly affect their lives and careers in the future. And what it started out with was when people tell you this is Ukraine, and therefore it's hard to do, we want to make people feel like this is Ukraine and therefore everything is possible. Our speakers, who are gurus and experts in their fields, discovered Ukraine and were moved and inspired by the talent and opportunity they found here. We'll also tell some of the stories about the people that was here and what they're now doing in the next step. There is everything from people who potentially want to move here, there's people who want to invest here, there's people who want to start businesses here, and there is a concrete project that Connect Ukraine is working on making come to Ukraine, which we'll speak about a little bit later. And then also, we on a finishing note in the start, want to say that we're so impressed by the Ukrainian people who showed up to something very new, who participated with amazing ideas, amazing creativity, and as I said last time I was here, I'm very proud to be working in Ukraine.
We also had Ideaphone, which will be described in more detail by Mr. Pasiak, and I only would like to mention that we had several teams which produced ideas for our forum. Then we will show these ideas on our website, on our media materials, and we will try to find sponsors or supporters for further development of that ideas. And I think that with this event, we achieved what we wanted, and in the future, we would like to have bigger attendees and continue what we are doing, what we want to do.
Pasiak. I'm super grateful and excited to be here and to be part of this festival. For the last 3 years, I've traveled around the world giving keynotes, talks, and workshops around co-creation. And I'm also an expert at building movements. I've done that for 20 years. I did PhD studies in religion and culture at Princeton, looking at big movements like the 60s counterculture, civil rights movement, and these movements that have massive changes that change the history and culture of countries. And so what drew me to Connect Ukraine was this idea of that they wanted to build a movement around creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, startups, sparking new businesses that also build bridges to the rest of the world. And so when I think of the way that you build movements is you start with a community that has intimate and strong ties, that are supporting each other, that care for each other, that help each other. And that's really what I see that came together through this festival. We brought 2,000 people together, 60 different speakers, and over the course of 3 days, we had a strong community come together who shared a really strong common experience of learning about innovation, creativity, startups, and the future. Within the context of the co-creation event that I led on Sunday, we had around 100 or so participants and about 20-something ideas, and then we grouped similar ideas together to come up with 9 excellent teams. I want to share one story that really kind of moved me from that event. There was a man that came up to me during the day. On Saturday, he recognized my picture from social media, and he was a farmer who traveled about an hour to Kiev to participate in this festival. And he had this idea of doing a green lab, of doing urban farming. And so when we were doing the ideas, when people were getting on stage to share their ideas, he was very nervous and very kind of apprehensive to go on stage. And actually, I came up to him and said, you came up to me earlier, you have this great idea, why don't you go up there? And then he went up on stage, and then people kept going past him. And then we actually had 2 more people come over and talk to him, and he was very nervous to get up on stage. And then as soon as he got up there, he was like a natural. He was talking to the audience and saying, how many of you eat vegetables? You are all my customers. And he starts asking people to raise their hands, and he actually gave the most dynamic and best presentation of the day. And then he went on to form a group and have this idea of developing a green lab that would lead urban farming in places like Kiev. And it's so cool to see over the course of about 5 hours someone's life really kind of change. They go from having an idea to forming a team to presenting it on stage, and you can see how the whole teams came together, that the people that he had never met before were just as excited about his idea as he was. And I think it's experiences like this that really are the first steps towards sparking a movement. And so when I think about co-creation, I think about the potential here. It's just, I want to emphasize, when we think of results, there's a lot of great things that came out of this festival, but this is just the beginning of something that we feel like will really revolutionize and change the future of Ukraine.
Всем добрый день.
Good afternoon, everybody. The story of these days reminds me a fairy tale. Some 20 people all around the world arrived here. They found local partners like Raiffeisen Bank, like Artzavod Platforma, and organized the festival. But behind each event on the framework of festival, there is a huge work of many people, and a lot of people were involved into this work, and they created a synergy, which I felt during all that 3 days. And all the stakeholders, all authors of startups, bank representatives, investment funds, IT sphere, agro sector, fashion business people, all that participants, they created the atmosphere. And in that very special atmosphere, they very openly presented what they wished to do and what they were ready to do to improve life in this country, to produce additional impetus for its development. I think that one of the best results of the festival is that 2,000 people who attended the festival with some vague idea. They came out after the festival with a clear understanding that they can do something, and some of them understood how to implement their dreams. I think that it's a great thing when you know how to make your dreams too. And once I heard that Dmitry Shimkiv mentioned that 56 plants were built during the last 2 years in Ukraine. I think that's a huge figure, which is not quite often mentioned. In next 2-3 years, besides next 100 plants, I think we potentially are able to say that 1,000 startups will be launched successfully. And when I listened to the people in the festival, I was impressed how people were ready to present their new ideas, which may look crazy for them, but and they feel shy to discuss the ideas. But in the festival, they started to speak. And by the way, many attendees, they used their holiday to come to Ukraine and to participate. We have got 20 ambassadors all around the world for Ukrainian brands, and we found out that new independent entrepreneurial initiative can develop here. We discussed blockchain technologies, bitcoins, labor force in the future. I think all this will be a long-term consequence for Ukraine. I do not think that all the participants of the festival even realized how new it was for Ukraine. And before the festival, nobody realized that this future is quite close. This can happen tomorrow, and we should be ready. We should start preparation from the state, preparation from business, preparation from big banks. So this atmosphere of creating new ideas and creating new Ukraine. This was the main idea of our festival. I think that we have reached our objective. We educated people, we informed them, we provided them with new knowledge. Of course, we will discuss the future of the festival with the organizers. But my impression is that we should have not just one initiative like this in Ukraine, not just one Connect Ukraine. We should have a series of such initiatives. Last year, jointly with IFC, we carried out an educational project for banks and investment companies. We visited more than 1,000 companies and trained the accountants and financial people in international financial standards and reporting. I think this demonstrates how efficient such initiatives are in small cities, in big cities, at the regional level. Thus, we will strengthen entrepreneurial initiative everywhere. When we keep saying that we should raise the share of SMEs in our GDP, which is negligible now, less than 10%, and wish to reach some 70%, in order to reach this objective, we have to start from such educational and practical projects. As a leading bank of Ukraine, as a representative of big financial group whose shareholders trust in Ukraine, we are ready to support such initiatives. I'm happy to have this very successful partnership with Connect Ukraine, and I wish a long life to the organizers to this festival, and I wish you to have 5 or 10,000 of entrepreneurs next year who will attend your festival. We will do this because we deserve better life. Thank you.
Good afternoon. At the What Platform, we are the platform to develop human potential and ideas. We believe in Ukraine. We believe in people who have ideas, and we will support creative ideas that were generated during Connect Ukraine Festival. We are grateful to Jorgen and Sofia for their cooperation, and we hope for further cooperation. We want to work with your team further. Thank you. Yurii Mylyutin. And I represent as agency the 8760, and we thank for the organization and blockchain hackathon creation, and we want to thank Raiffeisen Bank and co-organizers, and we held the event, the hackathon, and we gathered 12 teams of developers, and we know that we have high quality of programmers in Ukraine, but we didn't know about the development of blockchain in Ukraine much, so this can contribute to banking business, and some teams, they provided their ideas, and they presented some great ideas how to develop these banking things, and they created really wonderful and comprehensive things, and they created great products. And the hackathon I saw in Europe and in the United States, we never thought that 70% of teams could create something really new. And the hackathon was held at Artzavod Platforma, and we had representatives of venture funds that were interested in the projects, and we will continue to hold hackathons, and we now discuss the possibility to hold the event that will be upscaled, and we are really grateful, and we have good results, and we will support the blockchain community in Kiev, and we have also we will continue to cooperate with our partners who develop blockchain protocols, and we are really satisfied with the results of the hackathon. So what we can expect in the future for Connect Ukraine, we have two ideas we want to tell you about. The first one, and everyone expected that we will have one more festival. We don't know where and when, but we have an idea, and we will develop it. And now we search for good partners, and people want to help us, but we should find the right partners, such as Raiffeisen Bank. They really help us, and we want to have partners not only in Kiev, not only big cities. We want to have partners, and we want to hold an event everyone knows about, and to find investors, and to find assistance from business people. So this is our first idea. We want to hold one more event, and we do not want to wait more than 2 months.
I'm super excited. I'm like ready to announce something, but I think the team just and everyone, I think for everyone's sake, it's good to wait a little bit to announce the next festival. But yeah, we have some huge news, I think, and that is that from all the speakers that was here, one in particular, Casey Fenton, the founder of Couchsurfing, really loved Ukraine, and also really saw the potential to do things here, and to see like a little glimpse of what the future of Connect Ukraine is more than just a festival. It's a platform for promoting business growth in Ukraine. And it's also a platform for facilitating business growth in Ukraine. And in this way, Connect Ukraine has said yes to Casey Fenton to help him with legal work to see if he can move one of his businesses here. So that is like to see on the future of what Connect Ukraine is. It's more than just festivals. It's also about helping potential entrepreneurs or businesses who wants to come to Ukraine, also promoting Ukraine abroad, and also trying to get them to actually invest or move their businesses here. The business that Casey Fenton is talking about is one which we feel is a core to making a successful future in Ukraine, and that is his project called Wonder. The project is all about promoting trust, and I would advise you to check more into it. It's a really, really cool project, and we are happy to help Casey or potential other people who are interested in investing or doing stuff in Ukraine in the ways and we are able to. And then also I want to say that we've started a community. We had over 2,000 people. Of those 2,000 people, almost 400 people downloaded our app and filled out our registration So we have like an ability to communicate after. There is a vibrant social network that was created inside the festival that is still working, and people are still messaging each other. And you are able to, by downloading Connect Ukraine app, you are still able to ask questions to the speakers. You are still able to connect with the people that you met. And it's also a great way to promote your idea. So we have everything from investors to entrepreneurs to developers to creatives who are on the app. So if you go and download the app and post your idea, you're able to find people who you can co-create with. You're able to find people that potentially can invest in your project. You are able to find people to collaborate with. And I think like that's also the future, that we want to create this ecosystem that basically makes it possible for people with a good idea to actually get funding and to actually get access to the things you need to start your company. So this is like the initial part, and we can say that Connect Ukraine has huge, I feel like Donald Trump, but has very, very great plans, and I'm very, very excited for what's to come. And I think together we're very much able to do good things, and we're very excited for the future.
Дякую вам. Зараз переходимо до запитань. Якщо маєте запитання, будь ласка, представте.
If you have questions, please ask. Good afternoon, Taras Semenyuk, Shot Media. I have a question to Sofia and Jorgen. Could you specify 3 projects that were born during the festival and that are ready for launch? And do you have potential investors who want to invest in these projects?
Have led the process of that. I don't know if you guys want to answer that. I think there's more than 3 too, so.
I think that this is an important question, especially concerning Hackathon we held. If you do not know what it is, this is the contest of programmers. They work on the creation of the project, and the first 3 places, they create, these people, they created a prototype, and the first place, Smart Insurance, they developed a protocol blockchain for insurance of the deposit in cryptocurrency. This is the new sphere of economy, and the crypto economy is the new term, and the turnover is increasing, and there are some hacker attacks on this business, and that's why these guys found the way how to create a contract for a smart chain in order to avoid these hacker attacks. And they were contacted by the partners, and they want to integrate this solution. And the second team, these are the guys that developed the system of payment with the use of blockchain for international transactions, and the tests have shown that they have higher technical results, higher than Bitcoin, the less time for transactions, and they proposed unique solutions, and we invite them to participate in our further incubator, Transparent Future team, and they proposed verification of excise using blockchain as distribution system. This is the opportunity for any industry to fight fake products, and this provides an opportunity for customers to see whether this project is original or fake. The third project was highly assessed by Sergei Skabinke, who is responsible for financial cluster and financial product development, and now they have talks how to use this protocol and technology. And we have 3 or 4 products that are ready, and the teams are going to continue their work on them, and we will support them, and we will search for sponsors and investors for them.
I was talking, one of the ideas that really excited me was this green lab of doing doing farming in urban environments, which I think has a tremendous potential for people to get fresh organic vegetables and to actually build a business that is within the city. Another one was actually a pub crawl app, which I thought was really interesting, where people would basically, the concept of a pub crawl is you meet up with strangers and you go from pub to pub to pub. And so they had an idea of having QR codes where people could meet up and then they would get discounts as they go to different bars. I thought that was really interesting as well. And then there were a number of different app ideas that focused on networking and matchmaking. And one that I especially liked was a platform that would try to pair developers. I think Ukraine is incredibly strong with developers. And so when you think of founding teams, pairing developers in Ukraine with people that are very good at business and marketing outside of the country who have access to venture capital and investors as well. And so there were a number of wonderful ideas that came up. Those were the 3 that come to mind as I think some of the top ones.
Дякую вам.
Извините, пожалуйста.
Thank you. I would like to add about the winners of our hackathon and the prizes that we gave to the winners. The first prize was given to Smart Insurance. The prize was from our sponsors, from Lithuanian company AGM, which produces protocols for insurance of devices, and they gave a special task to participants. The Smart Insurance team coped with that tasks, and they got the prize. And we hope to invite this winner to our incubator, and maybe we will manage to make a $10,000 investment into this team, and will develop good products. I think that's a real contribution to the development. Any further questions? I'm Karchemacha Elizaveta, Union News Agency. My question to Sofia Yushchenko. I would like to know the budget of this event, and how do you plan to hold such events, not just in Kiev, like a big city, but in smaller cities, maybe all around Ukraine? We are thinking about new projects and in possible locations in Ukraine where it could be started. One of the possible locations might be Lviv, because they have many technical teams. Our business partners like to work very quickly. All the rest work a bit slowly, and now we are thinking about the future time, and one of the ideas, either 2 months or for 5 months. And about money, we have sponsors who provided us with the funding. Now we are paying our accounts, and I cannot say you as of the moment how much we spent. I would not speak in terms of money that are invested into the festival, but I would think about added value of this festival. If 3-4 teams will get investments, if 10 startups participating in the festival would get mentor or coach support, then this will be a good result. The financial aspect of the festival, keeping in mind that we had Atzavod platform a partner, it was not high.
I just want to say on a closing note as well, is that we are now experiencing that a lot of people are contacting us, and that a lot of people want to help us do everything from funding to partnering and all these things. And I think, as Sofia said, that we now need to make sure that we not just get money or funding from potential collaborators, but also that we have like these partners like Raiffeisen, which is a trusted partner, which is a serious partner, and which is gives the project the authority and also the seriousness that is needed to give people hope. Because I think like one of the main things that I've seen is like there's a lot of great initiatives in Ukraine, but it takes so little to take away that magic. That people are concerned about how it's operated, or people are concerned about what's the intentions behind. And I think when you have these pure intentions that we have, this enthusiasm of a very young team, serious partners, which is, you know, some of the biggest banks, and also people and individuals like Ruslan, for example, who's helping us and like teaching us how to operate better and also how to be taken seriously. And that's like where the true magic, I think, lies in Connect Ukraine, is this mix of like the absolute newest, the traditional, and also those coming together to create a new future for Ukraine.
Дякую вам. Якщо запитань у залі більше немає.
Thank you. Since it seems we have no further questions, and I wish you success for future, and hope to see you here again in the future.